Have you ever wondered why some people seem to be immune to cancer, while others fight with all their might to fight it? What if I told you that the answer doesn't lie in expensive medicines or complicated treatments, but in the foods you put on your plate every day? It may sound counterintuitive, but the truth is that cancer feeds on what you eat, and there are foods that can literally kill you. Does it seem controversial? Perhaps. But while many still rely on traditional solutions, you're about to discover a simpler, more natural, and more powerful path. Most people are feeding cancer without even realizing it. And the worst part? They do this every day, with seemingly harmless food choices. But today you will understand that cancer depends on glucose to survive, and certain foods not only leave you without energy, but also strengthen your body in ways you never imagined. The good news is that you can start now, without excuses, without expecting long-term results. The effects of a change in diet can be felt quickly. And this is not the talk of an expert far from reality, but rather knowledge that few share, but that you are about to learn. Curious to know what these foods are and how they can transform your life? Well, let's get straight to the point. What you'll learn here could literally change the course of your health. And it all starts with your next meal. Food is a powerful tool for preventing and fighting cancer, something that many are unaware of. The basis of this understanding lies in the way cancer cells feed and multiply. At the heart of this discussion is the Warburg effect, which demonstrates how cancer cells prefer glycolysis, that is, the use of sugar as an energy source, even when oxygen is available. In contrast, healthy cells use oxidative phosphorylation, a more efficient process, to generate energy. Excessive consumption of sugars and refined carbohydrates can therefore provide the fuel that cancer needs to thrive. Controlling this energy source is a crucial point in the fight against cancer. In addition to the energy factor, chronic inflammation plays a fundamental role in the formation and progression of cancer. Oxidative stress, caused by free radicals, can damage DNA and promote mutations that give rise to cancer. In this scenario, foods that help reduce inflammation are essential. Turmeric, garlic, and ginger are 3 examples of foods with proven anti-inflammatory properties, being able to significantly reduce inflammation levels in the body. Incorporating these ingredients into your diet can be an important preventative action to prevent the formation of tumors. Another effective strategy is following a low-carb diet rich in healthy fats. Foods such as avocados, leafy greens, extra virgin olive oil, and butter are examples of items that can provide the body with the energy it needs without increasing blood glucose levels, depriving cancer cells of their favorite fuel. This approach also has the benefit of keeping insulin levels low, which can inhibit cell signaling involved in tumor growth. So eating this way is not only nutritious, it can also be a smart way to starve cancer. At the same time, strengthening the immune system is another key piece in this battle. Foods such as garlic, mushrooms, and peppers have the ability to stimulate the immune system, increasing the production of white blood cells, essential for detecting and fighting cancer cells. Red fruits and fish rich in omega-3 also play a relevant role, promoting the production of immune cells and contributing to the body's healthy inflammatory response. A strengthened immune system is one of the most efficient barriers against the development of cancer. Furthermore, liver detoxification is crucial in preventing cancer, as this organ is responsible for filtering toxins and carcinogens from the body. Foods such as cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, and kale, as well as tomatoes, are highly recommended for their properties that help with liver detoxification. Consuming these foods can help improve the liver's ability to neutralize harmful compounds and reduce the risk of cancer. The last pillar in this dietary strategy is intestinal health. A healthy gut is critical for regulating inflammatory responses and maintaining hormonal balance, which is essential for both overall health and cancer prevention. Fermented foods like kimchi and sauerkraut, rich in probiotics, help maintain a healthy gut microbiome, while prebiotics like asparagus and garlic feed the good bacteria in your gut. Together, these foods help strengthen the intestinal barrier and prevent inflammation that could trigger cancer. Finally, it is important to emphasize that the most effective foods in preventing cancer are those considered 100% immune system strengtheners. Regular consumption of garlic, mushrooms, and peppers ensures robust immunity, capable of facing the threats of cancer. According to experts, to avoid cancer, 90% of our diet should consist of real, whole foods, which means avoiding processed and industrialized foods as much as possible. Following this approach can not only prevent cancer, but also improve overall health and quality of life. The key to understanding cancer is knowing how it feeds. Imagine that cancer cells are like little thieves who prefer to steal the easiest fuel to reach: sugar. Even when there are other, more efficient ways to generate energy, these malignant cells greedily feed on glucose. This was demonstrated by the famous Warburg effect, which reveals to us how cancer cells choose glycolysis over oxidative phosphorylation, even when oxygen is present. To put it simply, it is as if these cells ignore the most intelligent way of producing energy, preferring something that is at hand, but which, at the same time, causes profound damage to the body. Now think about it. If cancer loves sugar, how can we act to cut off this source of energy? A practical approach would be to reduce your consumption of foods high in refined carbohydrates and sugars. This does not mean abolishing the pleasure of a dessert every now and then, but rather opting for smarter choices in everyday life. Replacing white bread with whole grain options, or better yet, including more avocados and nuts in your diet, can make all the difference. These foods provide energy without increasing blood glucose levels, leaving cancer without fuel. Imagine the strength this gives the body, but don't stop here. This process of feeding cancer cells is closely linked to another fundamental issue: inflammation. And it's at this point that we dive into the next aspect, where the battle against cancer goes beyond depriving cells of sugar, getting into the question of how to reduce the inflammation that favors them. Understanding how cancer feeds is the first step to fighting it. Cancer cells have a peculiar characteristic. They love sugar, that is, glucose. Even when oxygen is available, they prefer the easy way out, opting for glycolysis to multiply. It's as if cancer were an opportunist that takes advantage of the abundance of sugar in the body to grow. This leads us to wonder, what would happen if we cut off this energy supply? Imagine that cancer cells are like an enemy army that depends on a single source of supply. By reducing sugar and refined carbohydrates in our diet, we can literally weaken this army. Replacing foods like white breads and sweets with healthier options like vegetables, nuts, and avocados can make all the difference. This not only deprives cancer of its preferred fuel, but also helps the body function in a more balanced way. Small changes to your diet, such as swapping refined sugar for alternatives such as xylitol or stevia, are practical and affordable. This smart food choice opens the door to understanding how our bodies react to inflammation. It's not just sugar that contributes to cancer growth, but also the body's inflamed environment. And this is where the next point comes into focus: how chronic inflammation becomes an ally of cancer, and which foods can act as true fighters against this inflammation. Inflammation is a natural response of the body, but when it becomes chronic, it can be an ally of cancer. Think of it as a small fire that never goes out and continues to burn slowly, damaging the surrounding healthy tissue. This inflamed environment is a fertile breeding ground for cancer cells. It is no coincidence that many chronic inflammatory diseases are linked to an increased risk of developing cancer. The secret here is to learn to control that flame. Fortunately, the body has potent allies in nature. Foods like turmeric, garlic, and ginger have proven anti-inflammatory properties. Imagine incorporating them into your daily routine. Drinking ginger tea in the morning or using turmeric to prepare simple meals can do much more than you imagine. These foods act as natural extinguishers, fighting the fire of inflammation and helping to keep the body's internal environment more balanced. Furthermore, regular consumption of antioxidants present in these ingredients reduces the production of free radicals, which are molecules capable of damaging healthy cells. By balancing inflammation in the body, we are creating an environment less conducive for cancer to thrive. But the path doesn't end there. To ensure that the body is truly protected, it is essential to also think about how food can help strengthen the immune system. And that is precisely what we will explore in the next point, where we will talk about foods that, in addition to reducing inflammation, have the power to raise your defenses to the maximum. After everything you've learned, the question remains, what are you waiting for to act? The knowledge you acquired today is powerful, but it is useless if it is not put into practice. Will you continue feeding your body cancer-enhancing choices, Or will you opt for foods that can literally save you? The decision is in your hands, and it starts with your next meal. A healthy life is not a distant promise. It is something you can achieve now. So look at what's on your plate and ask yourself, am I nourishing my body or feeding the disease? It's time to take control, make real and lasting changes. The question is not if you will start, but when. And why not now? Don't wait until it's too late. Start making choices now that will transform your life and protect your health. If this content made sense to you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This is just the beginning of an incredible journey. Here, you will continue to learn how small adjustments in your daily life can have a huge impact on your health and well-being. Shall we go together?